All right, hey there, folks. We got a big, beefy motherfucking fascist update. I thought I would just throw in some U.S. stuff at the end instead of doing a whole U.S. section. So don't worry, we're going to get to the mass shooting update. Don't worry. I know you were like, wait a minute, if there's no U.S. section, where's my U.S. section? I want to know how many people died in the U.S. today. Don't worry. And there was some pretty high-profile mass shootings in the United States the last week. So don't worry. Hopefully the mass shooting tracker will have some of the big ones in there. Don't worry about that. But before we get to America's favorite segment, we do need to talk about the fascists in the room. And we got to start with this off the wall, straight from 4chan political advertisement that was put together by something called the DeSantis War Room, which is apparently some kind of political pro-DeSantis political organization. I don't know how associated with DeSantis. DeSantis is probably going to say, after seeing this video, after all the backlash that he's received from this video, he's probably going to say, oh, I have nothing to do with these guys. I've never heard of them. They just do this shit on their own. I have no attachment or association. But come with me, all right? Let's Willy Wonka hop in the boat, okay? Come with me, and you'll see a world of pure imagination, right? We're going to go have some fun. We're going to go take a look into the psyche of a right-winger, okay? This is what they think is good. This is what they think is positive. And this is what they want to do to society, okay?
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
If Caitlyn Jenner were to walk into Trump Tower and want to use the bathroom, you would be fine with her using any bathroom she chooses.
That is correct.
In the future, can transgender women compete in Miss Universe?
Yes.
Make America great again.
I cannot think of anything more horrifying.
It really has shut down drag.
Just produced some of the harshest, most draconian laws that literally threaten trans existence.
Congratulations, Ron DeSantis. Mission accomplished. You win.
So, right, this is some satire video, right? This is some satire video. Somebody on the left came up with this, right? There's no way there would be this much homoerotic imagery, right? If this was done by, I mean, you want to talk about homoerotic. Look at this. This is like literally one of the gayest characters in fiction. This guy's so gay, like, you know, he's super duper gay, dude. Uber gay. This is Achilles. You don't know, from the movie Troy. Go ahead and look up what a pederast is. Okay. Not that I'm associating that with being gay. I'm just saying there was a lot of butt sex. And Achilles, there's no way Achilles was just a top. We'll just say that. Okay? But let's break it down. So the whole idea is that Trump thinks LGBTQ people are human beings. Ron DeSantis, psych, LGBTQ people aren't human beings, right? And bragging about how extreme, about how terrible Ron DeSantis is treating LGBTQ people, literally acting like a sociopath, a psychopath, proudly comparing him to American Psycho. You know, like, look, he walks like is he a psychopath? Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders, a drug dealing prostitute, a bet fixing criminal. Okay. and these messages are really like, we're proud of this. No one is more dangerous for the White House. This is look at the left. You know, look at the left being triggered, right? This is them being triggered. Yeah. I'm going to go slice somebody with the razor blades hidden in my hat. This DeSantis public enemy number one. Sure, DeSantis is evil. Well, we love it. These are great. We wear these as a badge of honor. Honor crusade. This has to be the worst one though, right here. This governor does not care. We want this? On the right. People on the right. People, Ron DeSantis voters. You want a guy that, yes, I want to treat LGBTQ people like monsters. I want a ruthless guy who is going to eradicate the existence of LGBTQ people that he does not care. And he's also super gay. Okay, that's cool. I mean, this governor does not care. He will destroy woke and also eliminate all LGBTQ people. Also, he's just like one of the gayest guys that has ever been gay. Right? What's he, peeling an orange? And the last one, of course, American Psycho again. And the last one, of course, comparing him to, like criminal after criminal, like comparing him to the Wolf of Wall Street, a greedy sociopath who proudly ripped off America, who proudly, has anyone seen this movie? Where this man, robs somebody of their life savings while flipping them off and impressing his buddies in the office, right? Lying to him about stocks or some opportunity that never existed, right? But pocketing the money, pocketing his fee. It doesn't matter if it's going to make him money or not, if the suggestion is accurate. Let's compare our guy to this guy. Arrogant criminal who was so arrogant and so criminal, he got wrapped up in a white collar investigation. You know how much you have to steal? Do you know how fucking brazen you have to be to get the FBI to go after you if you're a white collar criminal? To actually get the FBI and get all these agencies off their ass to go after you. You know how brazen and stupid, by the way, that you have to be? This is our guy, American Psycho, Wolf of Wall Street. Right? Achilles was, according to the stories, a hero. And then the coup de grace. What in the fuck? So I guess this is an idea that Ron DeSantis is a swamp monster, gonna go after the swamp. Is that we're like a Florida gator? But once again, more like monster comparisons, right? More like, bloodthirsty, evil, like, yeah, that's our guy. That's what I want. Yeah, I want a slimy reptile creeping around the swamp, like looking for opportunities and dead carcasses to feed on, right? What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, exactly, Clutch Cargo. Exactly. Thank you, right? That's what I'm getting at. Is I'm trying to point out that these people are coming after our democracy. They're coming after our liberties. They're coming after our freedoms. Okay? They want to create a authoritarian theocracy. Thankfully, at the moment, they don't seem to have the competency to create an organization that will actually achieve their goals. But they're trying like hell. They're trying like hell every single day. So this completely flopped, failed, blew up in his face real quick here. You got to hear some of this. This is fantastic. A new video shared by the DeSantis War Room on Twitter is being criticized by people across the political spectrum for its comparisons of Ron DeSantis to psychopaths and its anti-LGBTQ message. The DeSantis War Room, which purports to provide rapid response for DeSantis, posted the video on the eve of the end of Pride Month. Presence of the clip is to show that the former president Donald Trump has at times made pro-LGBTQ comments. Oh no, he thinks they're human? While DeSantis is not. The video uses real video clips of Trump and DeSantis in order to draw a stark distinction between the two on various LGBTQ issues. Spliced in between the clips of DeSantis are images of strongmen and famous psychopaths, such as the character played by Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. The responses were swift. Maggie Haberman of the New York Times wrote, quote, "I wonder how the donor class feels about this video," referring to the individuals who are funding the DeSantis campaign. A verified user who purports to be independent politically wrote, independent, please. Independent just means that you have a gay cousin, but you vote straight Republican anyway. A verified user who purports to be an independent politically wrote, I thought it was done by the left till I saw what account was posting it. Ouch. Even Republicans against Trump tweeted only, embarrassing, delete your account. A gay Trump supporter had even stronger words for DeSantis. By the way, gay Trump supporter? I'm sorry, where's my button? Gay Trump supporter? Still? You're dumb. You're just dumb at this point. There shouldn't be one left. There shouldn't be a single one left. Quote, I spent the last 7 years of my life working with Trump to make the GOP a more welcoming place for gays, while also being anti-groomer, anti-woke, and pro-religious liberty, he wrote Friday night. I've even worked with DeSantis on this agenda. This ad is a slap in the face and makes any LGBT person supporting DeSantis look like an absolute idiot. Oh, he almost got it, man. Oh, just a fucking hair. He almost got it. Well, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. This video makes my support for this right-wing guy who wants to destroy my way of life makes me look stupid. Where do you find these people, right? What do you have to do, like a casting call across America? There can't be that many of them. The hell is this? Costco ad, giving away my location. Thanks. Never been doxxed by a fucking grocery store. Not me, I can tell you with certainty. So moving on, we had to start off with that one, right? But moving on, the GOP. There are some people on the right who are still convinced that the GOP wants to drop Trump, that they're not cowards, that they're not beholden to their extreme base, to their extreme constituency, that demand that they deny reality. That is not the case. The GOP has been captured by Trump and the idea of Trump, which is deny reality, deny criminality. Every time I'm called out on it, especially legally, it's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. Take advantage of democracy's weakness to hold me accountable in time for me to gain power. That's the Trump strategy, right? Delay democracy, push back on democracy, obfuscate democracy, give me enough time to put me in a position of power where I can eliminate this process. That's exactly what Bibi Netanyahu is doing in Israel. One of the only reasons to use a VPN, change where ads and sellers see who's you coming from. True. It would fuck up my stream, though. The upload would be all wonky. But here we have the GOP establishment Unrealistic. RNC is making it near impossible for Trump's rivals to appear at debates. So here we have the entire RNC establishment carrying water for Trump, you know, holding Trump up, making sure that he's not going to be challenged. And you would think the exact opposite would be happening. Like, hey, let's let any loudmouth punk who might be able to, you know, out-gish gallop Trump up on stage, right? Any schmuck that could potentially make Donald Trump look stupid. Let's get him up on stage. But they're not. Listen to this. With the Republican National Committee setting guidelines for the minimum requirements needed to participate in the GOP's 2024 presidential debates, a report from Politico suggested that if those standards aren't changed, only Donald Trump and his 4 closet rivals will appear next month, with the majority of candidates left watching on TV. Oh, so we're only going to get 4 of them? That sucks, dude. The networks want more. They want that circus. They know it's going to be one. It's going to be their last opportunity to get Trump in a debate. 4 of them? That's not good enough. According to the report from Politico's Stephen Shepard, a reliance on polls and the type of polls used is creating an uphill battle for low polling candidates to set foot on stage. And honestly, I don't know. You should probably be able to earn 1%, right? You should probably be able to earn 1%, right, to be on stage. That doesn't sound unreasonable. Noting that a candidate must earn 1% in 3 polls to join the debate next month, Shepard explained that the devil is in the details. The RNC's criteria exclude virtually all of the public surveys conducted these days, right? So it's only the right-wing ones, meaning that they may not be opportunities for the lower polling candidates to even hit that 1%. So they only want like smaller polls that, you know, are that are guaranteed to tell them what they want to hear. That's the problem with polling, is that you can actually have really independent and really honest and really good polling, right? But you can also have the most biased shit you've ever seen in your life, right? And it all depends on the questions and the pollster, right? Hey, do you like a black Muslim using your taxpayer money to give drug smoking immigrants free health care? Yeah, I don't like that. Versus, do you think everyone in America should have free health care? Right? You get some different answers. As it stands now, besides Trump, only Governor Ron DeSantis, former Vice President Mike Pence, and South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, and Senator Tim Scott. No Chris Christie. Oh man, no. He's the one that's actually going to call him out. Nikki Haley's a coward. Mike Pence will, Donald, I respectfully disagree with you, Donald. While he's holding his Bible with his fucking, with a Christ-shaped Roblox, up his Roblox, vibrating like crazy. We all know he's a freak. Mike Pence, oh, he's a freak, dog. He's a freak. I don't know. All right, moving on. So, guys, did you know? I didn't know this. I just had a kid. I was actually not aware of this. It's actually woke if you don't give your baby fetal alcohol syndrome. Did you know that? Check this out. From another genius on social media here. Take my advice, mamas. Don't believe. I'm sorry. Take my advice, mamas. Don't believe woke ass doctors. These woke ass doctors. They just got a degree from a university, who try to force their agenda on ya. A drink every once in a while is fine. I have been drinking weekly, and my babies are fine. Learn to have fun and live a little. American flag. Why are they winning? Why are we on the verge of these people taking over and destroying democracy? Where's the left? Where's the left? These people are saturating the conversation. Yeah, it sounds like bait, Zio. It's so stupid. Sure. So I had tweets lined up, but Twitter shit the bed. I gotta give Elon fucking some Dogecoin, and I'm not doing it. So moving on. Sorry. I wanted to do a follow-up. Thank you, by the way, to Woke Patriot in the Discord, who was nice enough to post this link while we were discussing the idea of moral authority. Right? When another country tells another country how to act, right? And this was in context to the United States telling other countries, you can and can't use nuclear weapons, right? Well, we do have to draw a line in the sand. It still doesn't work, Chem Goblin, I checked. We do have to draw a line in the sand, right? There does have to be a response if Russia fucks with the Zaporizhzhia power plant, or if they drop a nuke or whatever. There does need to be a response. We can't just, the United States dropped 2 nuclear bombs, so Russia gets to do it. I guess it's all even now. That's not going to fly. But we do need to have a different discussion about, okay, is it truly justified for the United States to tell any country how to act when we haven't even apologized for Hiroshima or Nagasaki? Or have we apologized for the My Lai massacre? I'm not sure. But there's so many crimes that the United States empire has committed, has acknowledged, right? With Iran, right? Our intelligence agency has all but acknowledged that we did a coup and fucked that entire country up by installing a dictator who killed and got people so pissed off that they had to do their own revolution. They installed a religious government because of it. We've all but admitted that. And we're not held accountable at all. And, that doesn't make Ukraine any less important. It doesn't make our support of Ukraine right. It doesn't mean that we should stop supporting Ukraine because we're hypocrites, right? We're moving. We have the burden of moving forward. We're always moving forward. We're having this linear journey through time. We can't allow bad actors to throw out a lazy what about argument and get away with crimes, right? But thank you, Woke Patriot, for pointing us out. I did want to see, okay, what are the crimes that we've actually apologized for? Few and far between, but once in a while we'll do it. Shielding a Nazi officer wanted for war crimes. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, Klaus Barbie. Wow, really? We shielded Klaus Barbie? Have you heard of this guy? You got to see this. I can't believe this. We defended and shielded this guy? No way. Let me read a little bit more of this. Nicknamed the Butcher of Leon, Barbie was responsible for overseeing the in 1983, investigation spurred by charges of the French that the U.S. government had shielded Barbie after the war. Folks, hold on. So the trial of the trial was not filmed, or but there was a very accurate transcription of this trial. And then this, I don't know, it was the BBC or something. Some who did this? I'm not even sure. Screenplay looks like an intro to literally like a grainy porno from the 70s. But anyway, they did this whole production of the trial of Klaus Barbie, a full acting reenactment, like as if you were sitting there, right? Like no. As if the cameras were in the trial. So make sure you check this video out right here. This guy is a monster. This guy is an irredeemable monster. Okay, monster. Okay, he was remorseless during this entire trial. Basically sat there. This woman is explaining how she was tortured and sexually assaulted by Klaus Barbie, and he sat there the whole time like this, dude. Right? And I think he was hung after this or whatever. Right? But, I mean, just a monster. Absolute monster. Wow. So the United States shielded Klaus Barbie. Wow. So we officially apologize for that one. The U.S. issued a formal apology for hiding him later that year. Wow. The internet. Oh, yeah. The internment of Japanese citizens during World War II. Absolutely disgusting. And what do we see by political parties, on the left and the right, authoritarian commie lefties, right? Oh, we just got to round up people we don't like. We hear that quite a bit, right? So this idea that, oh, well, oh, should we intern all the Russians in the United States? Oh, should we go after the Russians? These ideas don't leave, but it's important that the United States apologize for these actions, because that acknowledges, right, that it's wrong if it happens again, right? If the United States says, oh, well, I know we did it before, but now that we're doing it for the right reasons now. That's why these apologies are so important. The overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii. Yo! This is huge. Oh, we said we're sorry, but we're not going to give it back. There's a whole independence movement in Hawaii dedicated to making the argument that Hawaii should be independent from the United States. We literally rolled in there, right? We were using it. It was a convenient place for nuclear testing and military bases, and right, we were kind of like pretending to work with the royalty there, because it was like a tribal king queen kind of situation. A queen was in charge at the time, and then one day, look up this history, man. And then one day, in January 1893, a group of American-born businessmen and sugar magnates stage a coup against the Hawaiian queen Lili Kukulani, backed by American Marines. American Marines were there with them. The insurgents forced the queen to abdicate and dissolve the Kingdom of Hawaii. They, by gunpoint, they said, we can do this loud or we can do this quiet. You're going to sign this paper and Hawaii is going to become America. And that's how it happened. That is how it happened. While the coup backers quickly declared the country a new republic, their true goal was to be annexed by the U.S. They got their wish in 1898 so they did they did a Russian, right? The independent country of, Donbass or Kherson, right? The independent Republic of Crimea. Yeah, for sugar. I mean, look at the history of, what is it? U.S. Food? Is that company, the food company that enslaved the world for a little bit? But yeah, they did a Russia. They did a Russia where, we're declaring independence. We're freeing the Hawaiian people, and then quietly joined the U.S. empire. Quickly declared the country a new republic. Their true goal was to be annexed by the U.S. They got their wish in 1898. So just a few years. So they did it in 1893 and 1898. It was already done. When Hawaii was formally annexed by the U.S. and administered as a territory until 1959. Then I guess then it officially became a state. 100 years after the seizure, Congress issued a joint resolution formally apologizing to the people of Hawaii for the U.S. government's role in the coup in 1993. We didn't give it back, though. Yeah, sorry. We're just going to move on, though, but we're really sorry about it. So how about that independence? Nah. Moving on. The Tuskegee experiment. Oh, these are classics, bro. These are so nostalgic. So during World War II, once again, back to the Nazis, scientists working with U.S. Public Health Service stated one of the most infamous and unethical medical studies undertaken during the 20th century, the Tuskegee experiment. Starting in 1932, doctors working with the Tuskegee Institute in Alabama began conducting a long-term study on hundreds of black men to learn about the long-term progression of syphilis. Intentionally infecting black people with syphilis. Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you? Are you? Are the descendants, are the family and descendants that they were able to track down receiving reparations for this for the rest of their existence? That would maybe scratch the surface of a real apology. Yeah, if you were part of these experiments, your family is like, you're going to receive a check. I don't care who you are. Yeah, we accidentally gave your ancestors, not accidentally, we intentionally gave your ancestors syphilis. It was a big experiment. We wanted to see if black people were different, I guess. I don't know. It was incredibly racist. The men were never informed that they were subjects of a study and were never actually given the medical treatments that doctors told them they were receiving. They were in pain. You ever had syphilis? It's not just some pimples on your dick, okay? In exchange for their unknown participation, 399 black men living with syphilis, so they were not, oh, I see. Okay, they were not given syphilis. Okay. Whew. They just already had syphilis and they were told, we will give you free treatment, but they were not given free treatment. They were experimented on. Cool. In exchange for their unknowing participation, 399 black men living with syphilis were instead given meals, free medical exams, and free burial services after their death. Are we not merciful? The study was originally meant to last 6 months and ended up running for 40 years. Long after the discovery of penicillin and other medical treatments for the disease. The experiment was uncovered by an investigation by the Associated Press in 1972. Yo, AP with it. Nice. Resulting in a $10 million settlement with the surviving subjects. President Bill Clinton formally apologized for the unethical experiments in 97. After it was revealed, of course. I'm not saying a president is like literally briefed on every single fucking thing when he sits down in the chair. I get it, but it is funny how, right, it needed to be uncovered, right? Would we even know about Abu Ghraib, right, and Guantanamo Bay if those pictures didn't get out, right? Would we have known? And then an apology for slavery and the Jim Crow laws, and we don't need to get into this. Everyone's pretty well versed on this, but Jim after slavery was illegalized, for those who don't know, my European friends or people outside the United States, the Jim Crow laws were a way to recodify some of the racist stuff that they were able to do, but they were doing it under the guise of protecting children or public health or a myriad of bullshit reasons, right? And it was a way for a racist state, a racist county, to say, put up a sign on a bathroom that says whites only, right? Oh, well, you're gonna give me your black cooties, right? Only white people are supposed to poop in here, right? So that's just what Jim Crow was. And yeah, of course, apologize. Where's the reparations, partner? As a white person, have you ever walked up to a water fountain and then someone said you can't drink because you're white? I sure hope not. Okay. All right. So that's the end of my fascist news, but we're going to do a little U.S. news as well. Just to cap it off till we get to America's favorite segment, the mass shooting update. This coward, there's no better word to put it, then Parkland school resource officer who stayed outside during mass shooting, found not guilty. So this little bitch, his job was to protect those kids. And once again, this is not the first time this has happened, but it's been codified into law that it is not the responsibility, it is not the obligation of law enforcement to protect people. They are not obligated to protect you. And they've defended this in court and they've won in court. That yeah, I know our cop cars say protect and serve, but actually, according to the law, we don't have to help you at all. The only thing we're obliged to do is protect ourselves. The number one thing a cop is allowed to do is protect itself. So this bitch who allowed children to get shot, he had the gun. He was the good guy. He was supposed to be the good guy with a gun. He was hired for the job to do to protect these kids, and he stood outside. And not only did he stand outside, but he then directed other police officers to not go in. State prosecutors accused Peterson of ignoring his training and doing nothing as 17 people, including 14 students, were gunned down at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Sound familiar? In what remains the deadliest U.S. high school shooting ever, his attorney argued that then deputy didn't enter the school's 1200 building, the site of the attack, because he couldn't tell where the shots were coming from. Oh. He did a Scooby-Doo. He was at the crossroads. Left, right, where, I don't know. And then he just sat on his ass. It's the good guy with the gun, guys. He's the good guy with the gun. The 7 counts of felony child neglect and 3 counts of culpable negligence each stem from the deaths and injuries of 8 students, 7 of them minors, and 2 school employees on the 3rd floor of the 1200 building. Teacher Scott Bagel and students Meadow Pollock, Jamie Gutenberg, Cara Longran, Jacqueline Oliver, and Peter Wang all were killed, while teacher Stacy Lepel and students Anthony Borges, Kyle Lahman, and Marian Kabachenko were wounded and survived. Peterson was not charged in connection with the victims on the 1st floor because he had not yet arrived on scene. No one was killed on the 2nd floor. He faced a perjury charge for telling investigators afterwards that he didn't see students fleeing, so he's even lying about what he saw to cover his ass. So he didn't see students fleeing the 1200 building, and that he heard only 2 or 3 gunshots after arriving at the scene, while other witnesses said they'd heard more. The state claimed the evidence showed both statements were untrue. The case was notable in part for the state's decision to bring the child neglect charges under a Florida statute that governs caregivers, arguing Peterson, as a school resource officer, had a duty to protect the students. The defense had argued Peterson did not qualify as a caregiver because he was a law enforcement officer. They don't have to care about you. They are not obliged to care about you. That determination was ultimately left up to the jury, which deliberated for more than 19 hours. And I would like to point out that if you don't know, United States judicial system, or if you're new to politics, you're not sure how this works, because they're like, oh, that sounds fine. It was a jury of his peers. This guy was probably given money to hire jury selection experts. These are people, Kyle Rittenhouse hired one as well. These are people specifically designed to psychologically profile jurors so that they can pick people that are biased towards the cops, right? So it's called jury shopping, and that is very likely what happened here as well. The juries were shopped around because it's a whole process. Before the trial starts, there's a whole jury selection process, and that can take months because they're allowed to reject certain people. So they pick and choose very, very carefully. Yeah, Zio Duke, but that's where the jury shop, that's where that jury shop expert comes in, because they're able to find people that are not telling all, the whole truth, but you can tell where they're leaning, right? So it's like, to get the process going, the other side, well, okay, I can't make an argument against bias on this. It's a whole process. It's slimy as hell. It's corrupt. And it's how these right-wingers are getting away with this shit. They're finding biased judges. They're shopping around for juries. I'm sure it was no accident. Maybe, well, this was done in Parkland, Florida. But I'm sure it was no accident. The people that were chosen. I don't have proof of it, though, so You know, fucking call me stupid, whatever. I don't know. I saw it with Kyle Rittenhouse as well. They picked the most biased judge that they could find. The guy who was like blatantly biased. They did the jury shopping. They did the whole thing. I mean, the only thing that they couldn't pick was those terrible, terrible prosecutors. I mean, that was just a gift. That was just luck. But the case also highlighted broadly held expectations for law enforcement as Americans continue to grapple with an epidemic of gun violence. About 200 attacks have unfolded on K-12 campuses since the Valentine's Day carnage at the Parkland School. A CNN tally shows and more than 330 shootings with at least 4 wounded, excluding a shooter, have been recorded so far this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive. Wow, Zio, did I say that? Was that a quote? Is that a quote from me? Because if that isn't a quote from me, then that would actually sound like you're putting words in my mouth. So I said that people don't deserve a competent lawyer that could, you know, present evidence properly. That's what I said? Wow. That sounds like a stupid thing to say. Oh, I'm sorry I said that.
Just moments ago, this man, Scott Peterson, an ex-deputy, was found not guilty for not taking action during the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School almost 5 years ago.
Wow, did I say that? I said that, huh? I said both sides shouldn't have access to the same legal resources, huh? Really? That's what I was saying. I was talking about you know, the corruption in this justice system. That, you know, that's obviously picking biased judges, this entire process of jury shopping. And you're telling me, I said, you know, people shouldn't be provide proper lawyers, and that both sides shouldn't be provided resources, huh? So there's no problem with that, right? Jury shopping, you don't see a problem with that. Okay.
He continues to be overwhelmed with emotion.
Don't anybody ever forget.
Well, both sides can cheat, so it's fair then.
The only person to blame was that monster.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, you fucking coward. You fucking coward. You were there, you were supposed to do a job, and you didn't. You folded like a bitch. I get my life back, your pathetic fucking life. I can think of a few individuals that didn't get their life back. You fucking coward. Go weep to your fucking God, because I don't want to fucking hear it. Crocodile tears from a bitch. Moving on. Everyone's favorite segment. It is the mass shooting update. Hey folks, mass shooting update brought to you, of course, by Garbage Fuel, the #1 drink mix company in the world. Garbage Fuel would like to remind you, this ain't changing. This is the new normal. All right, let's get started. Let's see how many people died in America this week. 392. Wow, 392 U.S. mass shootings in 2023. More than there are days in the year. Right? 365? Isn't that the... Yeah, 365. 5,527 mass shootings since 2013. Negative 2,556 days since the last mass shooting. That's something else. There's actually been so many mass shootings that counters on the internet are now going backwards. We've actually found a way to commit mass shootings in the past. We're committing mass shootings in the past now. So we have to go. It's like a fourth dimensional quantum mechanics kind of. We got to go back in time so that we understand how many shootings are going to be in the future. So technically, it's been over 3,000 days since the last mass shooting. This is great news. Over there in Florin, California, 0 dead and 4 injured, gunman unknown. Over there in Odessa, Texas, juvenile victim, 16-year-old boy killed, gunman unknown. It's good to know that less than 50% of murders are solved in the United States. So you have a good chance of committing murder and getting away if you can just, do it right. Over there in Greensboro, Kernsville, North Carolina, 3 dead and 2 injured. Domestic victims. Once again, we see this every week. Domestic victims, gunman's father and 2 others fatally shot. Gunman Thomas G. Gilley, 22 years old. Well, I hope Thomas was using a legal weapon purchased at a gun shop legally. As, an emotionally compromised 22-year-old individual, he deserves the right to have deadly weapons. Over there in Ypsilanti, Michigan, hey-oh, 2 dead and 2 injured juvenile victims. Oh, more kids. God, these kids are so woke. Long live the 2A. Here we go. I love gun anarchy. I love the idea that I could die in a mass shooting while buying a Yoo-hoo at a grocery store. Juvenile victims, 16-year-old boy killed and 14-year-old boy wounded. Gunman unknown. Well, I'm sure they deserved it. They were probably woke. Probably wanted to take your guns. Over there in Cincinnati, Ohio, 0 dead and 4 injured. Juvenile victim, 17-year-old among the wounded. Gunman unknown. Witnesses suggest a juvenile gunman or gunmen. Should we call them gun boys if they're juvenile? Well, we would likely see change in the terminology before we would see reform on gun anarchy, right? Yeah, we should call them gun boys if they're a juvenile, right? Gun men, they're not real men. Not yet. It's not like they've killed anybody. Oh, wait a minute. Garbage Fuel would like to remind you that this is the new normal and would like to encourage all those that are running away after a murder to keep running. The murder rate is less than 50%. Good chance to get away, folks. This has been the mass shooting update. Thank you so much. And the end of my fascist and U.S. coverage. We're moving on to the Supreme Court news. Yay, we're going to get into the Supreme Court news. Let's have a big debate about affirmative action, folks. Can't wait. Coming up next. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're just going to have so much goddamn fucking